Hey, what's going on everybody? This is John again from Volkswagen Planet, and today we're going to install the steering column that we had to go up to Daytona Beach to get. And it's going to be a real quick and simple video, and it's probably going to take me longer to explain it than to actually do the job. What you want to do in this job is you want to make sure that you're well organized, just like in every job, and I'm going to show you the tools that are required to do this. This is all you're going to need is simply a hammer, and I'll explain why you're going to need that. You're going to need a 7/8 inch wrench, two 14 millimeter wrenches. I prefer combo wrenches like this, a 3/8 extension, a 3/8 ratchet, and a 13 millimeter socket. And that's all you're really going to need to do the job. But there is a couple of things else you may need to complete this job, because if you're going to do this, I'd only do it once, and these are the other items that I would suggest you're buying. Wolfsburg West has basically, they don't sell it as a rebuild kit, but you gotta buy it individual, and I'll show you where these go. This right here is the boot that the steering shaft goes into. It's probably going to be like up in this area. Right here is going to be the firewall, and I'll show you where this is going to go in the car. And what I did is I bought a whole entire kit so I can show you on the ground how to do this and show you actually on the car. This job is really a pain in the butt to do it with one person, so this is why I'm going to shoot it this way. This right here is just basically a the steering column will come through here, and this is going to sit in the metal like housing to keep the steering shaft from wobbling. And this right here is I'll show you in the car, but right here is where the knuckle is going to go, and this right here covers up the little cage that goes on that what's called that universal shaft, and I'll show you in the car when we get there. But I went ahead and installed this in the car already, so I'm going to show you out here how simple this job really is. All you want to do is, if we were looking at this inside the car, you just want to take the horn button off, and there's going to be this screw right here has to be removed on the shaft. And let's see if we can get this off here quick. I'll show you in the car when we do this, but this is a 7/8 inch shaft that holds the whole entire steering wheel and column out. You remove this and the whole entire wheel comes off. 7/8 inch wrench, that's why we need that. There's going to be, this right here is mounted under the dashboard, and this right, it's going to be held on by two screws and a flat washer. It's going to be like this. And this is why you're going to need the 13 millimeter. I prefer a ratchet with an extension. It's easy to get to. And last but not least is this little 14 millimeter bolt. And this is why I said you're going to need two, because you got to grab on both sides, and depending on where it is, it might be too hard to get the a socket on this. So let me go to the car, and I'll show you where and how this thing goes. Alright everybody, we're back, and this is what I was going to show you under the hood. Again, this was the boot that I showed you that goes up into this metal housing that I was talking about. This 14 millimeter bolt. That's going to require the two open-end wrenches. Just put that down there. Real plain and simple. This attaches underneath the bolt here, two 14 millimeters, and it screws in. But before you put this, slide this back into the shaft, you want to put this boot, this cover, over here so it covers itself up like that. So when you undo this, it's real plain and simple to remove it from the car. Again, you take this 14 millimeter, you take two 14 millimeter wrenches, like I just showed you on the ground over there. So once you redo this, you go inside the car, and there's going to be where you can see the hole right there. That's where the two 13 millimeter sockets are at. You just undo those two sockets and the whole entire steering wheel is free. Then you just come back out here and you just take a hammer and you just tap. Let's see here, let me see. Yeah, or what I did, since I went ahead and replaced the steering column anyways, is I took the ears. Let me go back to the actual car, the one away from the car. It's easy to explain that way. Alright everybody, we're back on the example away from the car, the cutaway from the car. This is what I was talking about. I was trying to explain to you that these little 13 millimeter screws go up in here. That's why you take your ratchet. This would be under the dashboard. And all I did was I took my hammer, once I undid those, and I just tapped them out, and it walked the whole entire steering shaft out of the car. And literally that's all you do. There's one thing I want to give you guys some advice before you put this back in here. When you put this boot up here in the firewall, make sure you put and this little this boot right here that goes into the housing. If you're doing this with one person, it's almost impossible. So I highly recommend two. But if you got to do it by yourself, let me show you a way to cheat on this. Alright guys, we're back, and I'm going to show you how to cheat this job and make it really simple to do it if you got to do it by yourself. This was the body, I guess you call it body seal. This right here would go inside the car, and these two flaps just hang on the outside. But what I did is I took some all-purpose grease and I put it on the inside here really light. And this right here was the gasket, or the body, I guess you call it body seal, frame seal, head seal that goes back up. And what I did there also too was put some grease here, so when it goes over the steering shaft like so, you're not fighting it and everything else. It just slides right in there and makes the job a lot easier. And to finish the job, you just take your two 13 millimeter bolts that you used to undo the steering column. You just screw that back in. Let's see here what else. You take your 7/8 inch wrench. You put the steering bolt back in, and last but not least, you take your 14 millimeter bolt. Well, first you would put this on here to cover to protect us from the weather and the elements. Put the bolt on, fasten the bottom. Pull this back over while this is on the shaft itself, and that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please list them below. And I want to say thanks everyone on the last video for those who entered into the $10 Wolfsburg West gift certificate giveaway. It was a great pre-number to see if we can get this thing to a higher dollar amount. And I want to say that we got, I think, 10 or 12 or maybe even 15 entries so far. So I'm going to boost that thing up to $25. And all you got to do is subscribe to this video, leave a comment below why you want to, or what you would do to what you spend the money on if you were to win it. And I'll enter you in the contest, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick the winner on December 1st. So that still gives us a little bit of time for those of us who didn't enter the contest to get in. So for those of you who did enter already, you guys already locked in. Thank you again. thumbs up, thumbs down. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your support. And we'll catch you on the next video. As always, guys, God bless you, and have a good day.